So today we're going to kind of have a little bit of a mashup yoga flow. So some movement, but I know specifically a lot of you were asking for some stuff to relieve tension in the neck and in the upper back. So we'll have a few different things that I'll give you that will help relieve a lot of that. So we can go ahead and get started. We're going to start at the top of our mats. So I'll meet you there and let's go. Okay. So you can pretty much start right in the center, just seated comfortably, however it feels comfortable to sit. Even on your couch, actually, it doesn't really matter. So all I want you to do is just take the right hand and bring it down towards the floor. So the fingertips are on the mat. You don't have to lean. You don't have to walk it way out. Just enough so that you have some support there. So relax the elbow, relax the shoulder. Stretch the left arm up and reach all the way out. So stretching the whole left side of the body and look down towards the right hand. So try not to pop the ribs forward. Keep hugging the upper body in, pulling the navel in towards the spine. And just relax the head and the neck. So you're looking right down at that right hand. And on an inhale, come all the way up. The left hand is going to come down. The right arm is going to reach overhead. So again, just enough to put the hand on the floor. You don't have to walk way out. Stretch the right arm up and over. Pay attention to where the ribs are. Hug them in gently. Look down the left arm, relax the shoulder, relax the elbow. And just notice where the shoulders go. So if you tend to pull them up into the ears when you're stretching, make sure that they soften back down again. So it doesn't have to be the deepest, longest stretch you've ever done. It's just to kind of bring your awareness into the neck and where you're holding on to any tightness, if any. On your next inhale, come back to the center. This time, take the right hand really close to you and press the palm into the floor. So you want to get as long as you can through the right arm. So you're pressing firmly into the mat, maybe on the fist if it's too much to put the hand down. So whatever feels better, the hand comes down or the fist. Stretch the left arm up and bring the left hand to the right of the outside of the head, so the right side. And then just really slowly, using the weight of the hand, drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. So you're not pushing on the head. It's just enough to kind of feel that stretch from the ear down into the neck, down into like the base of the neck where the collarbones are. So from here, you'll also notice that if you kind of look up a little bit, or if you turn the head down a little bit, you'll feel it differently throughout the muscles in the neck. So whichever feels better is where I want you to stay. Again, don't worry about going too far down. Just a little bit is enough. Take 2 more inhales. Notice your posture here too. Try not to slouch. Gradually straighten back up. Left hand is going to come down. Right arm reaches up, so push into the left hand. You want to stay really long. Stretch the right arm up. Take the left side of the head where the left ear is. Bring the right hand there and just very, very gently let the weight of the hand bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. So this is another one. Again, it's not so much about feeling any type of intense stretch, but more about where the shoulders are. So a lot of times tension in the neck just comes from not being mindful of how we carry ourselves throughout the day. So here, see if you can pay attention to that. Relaxing the chest and the shoulders. Keeping the length in the spine, but letting all of that tightness around the upper body start to dissolve. And take 2 more inhales. And take the right arm back up. And real slowly, the hands can be wherever. You can start to just roll the head to the left. Over to the right shoulder and stop on the right side. Come back in the front. So I don't want you to hang the head back. That sometimes it tends to put a lot of undue stress on the spine, the vertebrae, and the upper back. So just through the front, 180 degrees. Maybe 1 more. Really, really slow. And come up to the center. So from here, I want you to take both hands to the right. You can tuck the toes under. And just find a comfortable down dog. Not going to stay here very long, just enough to kind of stretch out the legs a little bit. Relaxing the head and the neck. So look right down between the knees if that feels okay. Maybe shake the head yes and no. Just let it hang really heavy. On your inhale, step the right foot all the way up to the hands. Spiral the left heel down. So think warrior two legs, but I want you to bring the right elbow to the right knee. So you're just kind of chilling. So just make sure that the shoulder doesn't end up in the neck. You want to keep rolling it back and keeping strong. So you're pressing into the forearm so you have some strength there. Push firmly into the left foot and keep hugging the right ribs around. So you're still narrowing through the waist. So with the left arm, I just want you to take the left hand to the lower back, and it can stay here, or if you're a little bit more mobile in the joints, you can also take that left hand around to the inside of the right thigh. So all I want you to focus on is that rotation of the rib cage around towards the sky. That's it. So don't worry about how deep you go or how many options you add. Doesn't matter. So keeping the right arm really strong. You can look any direction, up to the front or down, and just let the head start to relax. So just gently dropping the ear towards the shoulder. And you're going to notice a deeper stretch, so a longer stretch closer to the shoulder in this case, but also into the neck and up into the base of the skull. So take a couple breaths, keep pressing into that left foot, and you can turn the head any which way, really slowly, always move slowly here. Take 2 more inhales. Slowly lift the head back up to neutral. Take your time. Unwrap the left arm. And then take the knees wide, the toes face the diagonal, and sit the hips really low. So you have 2 options here. You can either take the hands behind you and clasp the hands, so you're interlacing the fingers, like this. If that is way too much and it just doesn't feel right, or your shoulders don't, something feels off, you can take the hands behind the thighs and kind of grip your pants here, because the only thing you're looking for is creating some space in the chest. So if you're rolling the shoulders back, think of like pulling the collarbones away from each other. So lifting the sternum up, but keeping the spine long. So hug the ribs in, but keep lengthening from the upper body. So whichever way you decide, take a few breaths there. Relax the neck. Look any way that feels good. On your next inhale, straighten out the legs. Come to warrior two on the left side. So right leg is straight and just lean into the left leg. So remember to stay strong in the left arm. Don't collapse into the shoulder. Keep hugging it down, hugging the shoulder blade back. And then the right hand is going to come to the lower back, or you can hook it all the way around to the inside of the left thigh. Okay? So remember, one way is not better than the other. Just go to that point that still feels good. So hugging the belly in, keep rolling the shoulders away from the ears, and then you can start to just relax the head to the side. So you're looking for a really slight sensation, nothing too intense in the right side of the neck. And you can play with the placement of, where you're looking, and that'll change the stretch. So you can look down, forward, maybe up a little bit. And once you find that spot that feels good, I want you to hold for a couple breaths. And take your time, unwind. Come back to the center, find that wide squat again. So knees track over the toes, the feet can turn any way that feels fine with the knees. Either interlace the hands behind you or bring the hands to the outsides of the legs. Roll the shoulders back, lift the sternum straight up, and drop the tailbone down. Take 2 inhales. And gradually straighten the legs. And just turn everything back to the front. Press into the hands and step back in child's pose. So take the knees down gently, nice and wide, feet together, sit back on the heels. Walk the hands out, relax the head and the neck. From here, look to the hands. Lean forward, keep the knees where they are, so they're still fairly wide and the feet stay together. The left hand is going to stay down, and the right arm is just going to thread underneath the left. Come all the way down to the head of the right shoulder, and relax the right side of the head down. So you can take the left arm in a couple different ways. If your head is comfortable, you can walk the left arm out. If you want a little bit more, you can take it up and wrap it around. Whichever option you decide to go with, make sure that the head doesn't feel heavy, make sure that the neck doesn't hurt you. But I want you to let the head feel heavy. So just let it be totally as heavy as you can make it, like a weight. Keep pulling the belly in. Keep both legs equally heavy. And keep rolling the left shoulder back. On your next breath, go ahead and unravel the left side. Take the left hand down, press it back up. We'll do the same thing the other way. So keeping the right hand down, the left arm will thread underneath. Come down to the head of the left shoulder and do the same thing. So right arm can go anywhere you like, straight out, overhead, whichever feels best. And again, make sure that the head feels nice and heavy, so let it be completely on the floor. Relax the shoulder, the left shoulder, and keep rolling the right one back. Slowly come back to the middle. Press into both hands. Sit back on the heels for child's pose one more time. Relaxing the head and the neck down. When you're ready, look up, lean forward, and have a seat. So anywhere that's comfortable. We'll do a couple more things for the upper body, the shoulders, and the neck as well. So I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see. But take your arms out so that they're at shoulder height and cross the right elbow over the left. So if you're familiar with eagle, that's the arms that you want to have. Otherwise, right elbow over left, bend both arms, and see if you can either bring the backs of the hands together, so like this, backs of the hands together, or you can hook them all the way around so the palms touch. And maybe you can kind of hook the fingers just to keep them in place. So any way that you can get them is fine, but I want you to let the elbows come in towards the chest and just very gently let the hands pull away from you. So from here, let the chin tuck slightly. Just relax the head down. And be mindful of your posture, so don't let yourself cave in. Keep the chest lifted, you're just letting the chin tuck. Your next inhale, lift the head back up to neutral. Bring the hands back in and bring the arms back to neutral too. So they're not pulling into the chest, they're just barely lifted. And in this case, I want you to keep the head totally relaxed, so don't let it fall forward or back. Just start to pull the arms up gently, just enough until you feel it under the arms. So you're looking for a stretch right in this area. Around the shoulder blade probably. Take a couple breaths here. Keep the head relaxed. And on an exhale, release down. You can unhook. We'll do the same thing the other way. So left arm over right, bend the elbows. And either the backs of the hands just come together, or you can hook the hands all the way around, maybe grip the hands together too. So take your time to get settled. And then the elbows are just going to gently pull in towards the chest. Let the hands fall away from you a little bit, not too much. And then let the chin tuck. So the back stays strong and tall. You're just letting the chin drop down so you feel a stretch in the back of the neck. Next breath in, come up back to neutral. Bring the elbows back in. So they're not pushing into the chest, just kind of relaxing there. And then on an inhale, start to lift the elbows away from the chest. Just enough until you feel it under the shoulder blades. Keep the head relaxed. Both sides of the neck are soft. And slowly release the arms down. Unhook. You can interlace the hands behind you if you want, just to kind of roll the shoulders back and stretch the other way. That feels okay. And if you can't quite touch the hands, that's okay too. You can roll the shoulders back, maybe open the palms away from you so both hands face away from each other. And just roll the shoulders back. Think of the shoulder blades kind of coming together at the bottom. So like the tips would come together is what you want to picture. So lifting the chest up just to get that stretch through the chest. Take one more breath in. And release back to neutral. Still in that comfortable seat, let the eyes close. Sitting tall on the hips, letting the shoulders relax down. And just feel the head kind of effortlessly floating on top of the neck. And take a couple more breaths here. And next inhale, sweep the arms all the way up overhead. Bringing the hands together, exhale them right down to the heart center, sealing in your practice. Let the eyes open. Namaste. Awesome job, you guys. Thanks for coming back. Make sure you come here tomorrow. We're actually going to be doing a little bit of a morning flow, I'll call it. So some of my favorite things to do when you first wake up is what we'll be doing tomorrow. Last time, walk the hands up. Look to the fingers. Come on up. Keep the elbows bent towards the knees. Dive forward with the chin, chest,